Dr. Phyllis Collins of DietHobby.com. Some of you know me as the YouTube Grandma. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade vegetable soup. 1 cup of the soup is only 45 calories, so it's a great thing to have on a cold winter day when you're trying to lose your Christmas weight or when you're trying to lose any kind of weight. Anyway, it just tastes good. So I've already done the ingredients, and all we're going to do is assemble them, and then we're going to cook them. This is 1 cup of this serves 12. 1 cup is 45 calories, and net carbs is 7, protein is 2.7. So we're going to start out. I have started out by, we're going to start out with the soup, with the broth. We're going to put 4 cups, and this is 4 cups, 32 ounces. We're going to put the broth into the pan. And this is beef broth, 32 ounces. I like to use, you can use cans or whatever. I just happen to like this beef broth here. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we have a cup of celery. Now all of these things, the celery, the carrots, everything are cut in pretty equal pieces. So here's a cup of celery, 2 stalks of celery. Okay, here is 5 ounces of baby carrots. And see, I've taken the baby carrots and I've cut those up in little chunks too. Next, I have a big a raw onion, and I've cut it up in little chunks. Okay, now this is parsnips. Now parsnips, if you're not familiar with parsnips, it's kind of between a potato and a turnip. It's like a long root thing, and you peel it like you would potato, and then you slice it up, and it's in little chunks. And it's really, I like it. Okay, the next thing is I'm taking a can of green beans. But what I did with them is, you see that I cut them, like each one of the beans, into like thirds, so they'd be smaller pieces, and I'm using the liquid and all. Okay, the next thing I have here, a cup of raw mushrooms, and I have chunked those up as well. And those go in too. And the next thing, I have a can, it's a 14-ounce can of petite cut tomatoes in its own juice, and I like that, and we're putting that in. Okay, the next thing is we're going to add, this is a half of a cabbage, half of a large cabbage. So I've just chunked it up, and now I'm adding that into it as well. Okay, now the thing that's left to do is add some spices and add some water. Okay, now I'm going to add 2 to 4 cups of water, and I'm still looking to see how it works. There's 2 cups. No, it's going to need 4 cups of water. So I'm going to get another couple of cups of water and add 4 cups of water. Sometime, you know, I forgot to put the water in my recipe. In my written recipe, that's why I wasn't sure, because I couldn't remember. Okay, that's just about right. The water is coming to the top of the vegetables, you know, and the liquid is like right at the top of the vegetables, which is where I want it. Next, I'm going to add my spices. Okay, and I'm going to start with salt, table salt. I'm going to have a half a teaspoon of table salt. And if you don't like spices, you can do without, or you can use some other spices. This is a half a cup of black pepper. Half a cup. It's a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Next, I'm going to have a quarter of a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm going to put in a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And I'm going to put in a teaspoon of basil. Now I like you can do it to taste. You know, you can put more in, you can put less in. Sometimes as I cook it, it's not quite as flavorful as I want, and so I'll add a little bit here and there. Now here is a trick that I do because sugar makes everything taste better. I put 1 package of Splenda because it flavors it. You see, my God, she puts Splenda in everything, even in her soup. Well, yes, I do. It used to be that I put sugar in everything. And that's what manufacturers do, you know, in the purchase soups and the purchase things. And the interesting thing about that is, you know, if you look at a can, you know, ingredients, the labeled ingredients, you know, they have to put the ingredients that has the most first, and on down the line. But a lot of times what you'll see, not in this, but in some cans, you'll see like sugar as maybe the second or third thing down, but then a little bit down, you'll see sugar by another word. It'll be called molasses, or it'll be called honey, or it'll be called brown sugar. And so it's like a whole bunch of different kinds of sugar, and if they put all the sugar together, you know, all the sweet sugar things together, then sugar would be number 1 on the label, not number 3 or 4. So that's kind of something to watch out for that people don't seem to be aware of. You know, so if you're watching sugar. Okay, so what we've got now is I got a big pot of vegetables, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that to a boil, and then I'm going to put a lid, wrong lid, wrong lid. See, that's why I try to rehearse these things. Well, where's the right lid? There it is. That's why I like to do these things ahead of time, because this is what happens when I don't. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this on to simmer. I'm going to bring it to a boil. Then when it boils, I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to cook it a couple of hours. So we'll be back in a couple of hours to show you how it is. Hi, the vegetable soup has been simmering for a couple of hours, and it's ready to go. Ready to taste, ready to eat. You could probably cook it less, but I like it to be really incorporated all the flavors together, and I like things to be kind of all mushy, soupy. So this is my choice. Probably about 15 minutes would be enough to cook it. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 cup of vegetable soup. And I was thinking, how would I show you? Okay, this is how it looks. This is all these vegetables and cabbage and everything. And 1 cup of it is 45 calories. I'm trying to think of how I could show you outside of a picture. There will be a picture of it on my website, because I'm going to take a picture of it right after this and put the recipe, and so when I put it up, there will be a picture on the website. But this is how it is. It's got lots of veggies in it. It's got a nice broth. 45 calories for this much. It's hot, but it's good. It's very, very good. Only 4,500. 4,500. Only 45 calories for this cup. And that's a really good thing to have before a meal or as a meal. Come and see me, diethobby.com.